Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport, and then I did want to give you a quick update. I am going to do something a little bit different with the cameras this time, so I want you guys to give me your feedback on that. So on the drive portion, it's going to look way different than what it normally looks like. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below on that. As always, we're going to do a quick walk around on the Gladiator, then we're going to take it out to see how the Sport drives compared to the other trim packages. This vehicle is being provided to us by Larry H. Miller Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah. If you're on the market for new Jeep or Chrysler, check these guys out. And then if you are stopping for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Under the hood here of the Gladiator Sport, we have the same 3.6 liter V6 that's across the board in the Gladiators. This one's routed through an 8-speed automatic transmission. In terms of power outputs, that's going to be good for 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. And then just so you know, this is a rear-wheel drive platform, so it sends the power to the back two wheels, and then you can put it in four-wheel drive to send the power to all four wheels. Wrapping things up on the front, let's start on the top of the hood first. So you can see these little rubber pads. That's so you can lower the windshield down onto those. Same on all of the Wranglers and the Gladiators. And then we've got that traditional Jeep styling up front. So this looks identical to the Jeep Wrangler on the front end with the new JLs. You've got your little turn signal indicators integrated right there. Halogen headlights. And then you can see the little tow hooks on the top. This just has, with the Sport, just a regular plastic bumper. It does have fog lights in it, which is nice. And then you can kind of see the tire integrated to the side there. But like I said, traditional Jeep styling. Around the side here, we have two 45mm tires on 17-inch rims, so pretty much a setup for the street, not necessarily for the off-road. And then you've got your Jeep and your Gladiator badging there on the side. Got a little antenna poking up, but here's a side angle for you guys. And then you note that this just has the plastic hard top. Here's the key fob for the Gladiator. So you know there's a couple functions, your lock and unlock. It's got a little flip-up key if the Gladiator ever dies on you, but you press that twice, that'll do the remote start function, and then it'll start right up. The exhaust is just down below there. Press that again, and that'll shut off the Gladiator. And then if we unlock the Gladiator here, we can see that the tailgate, you can pull that down. It is slow lowering, and it's very, there we go, slow lowering. This one doesn't have a bed liner, does have LED bed lights in it, and you can see the power rear siding window just back there, but decent amount of bed size. It's a smaller size pickup, so that's kind of what they're going for. And then the bed is very, very light and easy to put into place. We can see the Jeep logo on the back there, and then you got Sport, since it's a Sport trim. And then you've got incandescent taillights on the back, just like on the JL Wranglers. Tow package just down below, and then you get more tow hooks right here with some reflectors, and then all of your hookups for the towing. And even though I recommended to go for body painted, this one's got the black fender flares and the black top. But if we actually pop back here, we can pop into the back of the Gladiator Sport. You can see the door panel there, so you actually have some nice padding here. There's a little door handle so you guys can see. There's a little cargo net right there, and then we can see these seats here in the rear for the Gladiator. So this is going to be cloth seats in the Sport. They do pick up. You still get storage containers underneath. And then you can still fold this one down if you would like. Got little circular vents just like all the Jeeps. Windows are in the center, and then you do get some cup holders. Legroom's kind of tight back here, but it's a smaller size truck, and that's pretty standard for this segment. Coming up front, just regular keyless access, so you got to press the key fob, and then you can see the mirrors here on the side. They are heated, but we can look at the door panel here on the front, and it's pretty much identical to the one on the rear, except your lock and unlock and mirror controls are on this door panel. Door handle's the same though. Looking at the seats down here, we can see they're fully manual adjustable. You can't get power seats on the Gladiator or the Wrangler at all. Full cloth seats though. You can see the bolsters are pretty wide on these. And then here's the pedal layout just down below, and you can see this is where you put the floor mats. And then up here we've got our light controls. I usually just leave that in automatic mode. That's your cargo light, that's your fog light to turn that on or off, and then these are to dim the gauges, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. Step in height on the Gladiator is pretty easy, but it is a push button start, so just put your foot on the brake, push the push button. Gauges will do a sweep, and then you see the little Gladiator Jeep right there in the center. Now here is the little cruise control pad on this side. On the other side you've got your voice command pad, and then this is for the center screen. We'll go over that momentarily. There are rocker panels on the back of the steering wheel to change the radio stations, regular turn signal and light stock, and then your windshield wiper stock. And then note the steering wheel full leather, and then you do get some contrasted stitching on the inside of the steering wheel. But let's go over the gauge cluster. So we've got our RPMs on the left hand side. On the right hand side we've got our speed, and then you can see that center screen where I'm going to scroll through the different menus that you can go through. Note that this does have auto stop start on it. but you can see that there's a bunch of different little screens that you can scroll through. Just gives you different bits of information on the vehicle. That's neat for the off-road, even though this thing's got street tires on it. And then you can see your fuel economy, all that, but basically anything you'd want to know. Here is the little center area, so still get those circular vents, and then the rubber seals around the touch screen. And then note that this is the little bit smaller size touchscreen, heated seats and heated steering wheel. And we actually go to the backup camera now. You can see that this will turn with the steering wheel and the backup camera. And then there is a zoom function, so if you're hooking up to a receiver hitch, makes that quite a bit easier on the infotainment system. But you can see it's really responsive. It has drag and drop, so if you want to put things in the sidebar, you can. And there's just not that many functions on this one. The 8.4 inch is probably the one to go for. And then note that this one does have dual zone climate on it as well. Below the touchscreen, these are all of our controls for the climate. So you've got all of your analog climate controls, and you've got your analog controls for the heated seats and heated steering wheel. And then that's for your auto stop start, your mute for the radio, stability control. That's your off-road cruise control, screen on or off. And then, like I said, analog radio controls are down here. These are for your windows in the center, and that's because you can take the doors off. So that's why they put the window switches here in the center. And then you can see you've got some plugins for the USBs, 12 volt, and then there's a little storage pocket just down here. I've got a shifter for the 8-speed automatic. It does have a manual shift mode if you want to shift the gears yourself. And then that's your 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high, neutral, 4-wheel low. That's just your shifter for the 4-wheel drive system. Do have a traditional e-brake. Cup holders right here, which you can insert your phone right there, which is pretty handy. And then we've got our little center console right here, leather on the top. You can see that it's kind of dual function, so you've got storage on the top, and then you can fully open it. You can see there's a USB, and then you get more storage underneath. And while we're on the topic of storage, let's head over to the glove box. So we can see that traditional glove box, just like in the Wranglers, and then we've got the little grab handle here from when you're off-roading and your passenger can hold on to something. Now, we've always got to talk about the top here. So these are all the latches to unlatch the roof in the Gladiator. The back, you do have to use tools to get that part off, but this is just a traditional T-top on it. So you can take off this part and you can take off that back part there. This is the easy part though. And then note, you got your sun visor. This is actually one of the latches just behind the sun visor back there. To wrap things up on this Gladiator Sport, this is kind of more of like a fully loaded Sport, but if you're looking for more of like a baseline Gladiator, so you want the Jeep truck, but you don't want to pay $60,000 for a Rubicon, the Sport is the trim package you go for, especially if you don't like all the snazzy leather on the interior, you don't care about the infotainment stuff, any of that. This is the trim package to go for. That being said, let's take it out to see how it drives. We are setting off here in the Gladiator, and as you can see, low on fuel per usual. But let's first talk about visibility. So you can see the visibility over the hood is really good on the Gladiator. It's pretty easy, just abruptly ends right there. You can see through both of the side mirrors how you can kind of see visibility wise there. It's decent. And then you can see over the shoulder back here, visibility is pretty good overall on the Gladiator. It's a little bit higher off the ground, so it's pretty easy to see throughout in general. And then just turning here, we can see that the steering is super, super light and effortless. It's really easy to go. And you can see there's a little bit of play in the steering, but not a whole lot in general. Now with the road noise and ride quality, there's not a whole lot of road noise that comes through with this Sport package. Those smaller rims and then the smaller, street tires make it so that it handles a lot better on the road. It's a lot quieter. And this is pretty well insulated with this top. I would recommend get the soft coverings on the top though. That'll make it even better on the insulation side of things. Now, let's get a little acceleration here to see how this 3.6 liter V6 performs. So you can see it accelerates pretty well. I mean, it's not the quickest vehicle, but it's more than enough power for the Gladiator here. Now let's sum things up here on the Gladiator with the driving impressions. If you're looking for a truck and you want something that's a little better on the off-road and you don't need a bigger size truck, then the Gladiator is definitely a really great option to go after. It comes with a ton of nice little things and accessories, and it's literally, I mean, it's a convertible truck. You can see that. That's so sweet that you can have a truck and a convertible, and it's pretty good off-road. And if you want something that's a little bit more baseline, like I said, and you don't want to pay for all the bells and whistles, then the Gladiator Sport's definitely the package to go for. So if you're on the market for new Jeep, check out this new Gladiator Sport package. There we have it, everyone. The 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport. Thank you everyone so much for watching. And again, this vehicle was provided to us by Larry H. Miller, Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah. If you're on the market for a Jeep, check these guys out. If you are stopping for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And again, leave in the comment section below what you thought about the drive portion, because if you guys prefer how I filmed this drive portion today, I'm going to do that in all of the following videos from this video. So yes, down in the comment section below at the end of this video, let me know so then I know what to do in terms of the drive portion on the channel. I'll see all of you in that next video.